Not exactly the kind of questions I had in mind or was planning. Alright, so, yeah, I guess we're just gonna start off here. You're welcome for that. Um, so, right here, I actually had a bit of a struggle getting players to realize that you want to go down and down the ladder there. So I had to add a bit earlier like Solomon kind of whoosh went down, and I don't think you quite saw it, but normally I think you see it. Um, and then I sort of added a bit of sort of barriers here to make it clear that you can't get through that way, but you can go around this way. But it's been a bit tricky to get players to realize that they can do that. But I think I managed it. Not gonna lie, I'm pretty proud of the flickering light thing. The stairs. The stairs aren't so great. The stairs are pretty mid. I don't really know how to make them look any better. But that's what they look like for now. Think Emma would set fire to big rigs? Probably not. I don't know. She's not really a terrorist. Let's see. Yeah, so basically, like, the first room sort of introduced you to the idea of lighting up these pillars, as well as upstairs. And now this time you have to interact with one in order to activate it. So now you come up here, and you get that's the mechanic, right? Oop. All right. So it's been a little while since I played, so let's just see how this guy's doing first. I think it's probably worth using the magic defense lower. Imagine something like a mimic pillar that just trolls you. That might be an idea. Thanks, I'm just gonna steal that. Oh, you're gonna go now? Alright, see ya. Alright. I'm trying to think if there's really anything I can say about this section at the moment. Oh! Miss. Sad. Oh wow, that was sad. Come on. You can just like strike him there like that. There you go. Um, Originally, my plan was for an elevator to bring you back here, and this would like open up, and then you would travel back down, you know, through there, and go back upstairs. That was the original plan, actually. But that ended up changing during the course of development. I was gonna run away. To just put you outside. Oh, one thing. Okay. Run! Oh! Hey. Oh. So, this particular, attack went through a bit of change. Do you think the game might unbalance a little, making grinding almost a requirement? No, I don't think so. If you fight every enemy you encounter, then you should have no issues. And I've done a lot of playtesting where I kind of assume that the player has as little experience and whatnot as possible. If you really go out of your way to avoid encounters, then you might have a little bit of trouble. But if you try to find stuff and fight most of the enemies you encounter, then you'll probably not run into too many issues. I hate grinding personally, so I don't really want to make grinding like mandatory. So, but it definitely is tricky to balance. I should have used the thing that lowers the magic defense. Oh well. Actually, if I use like, and then like on here, it should be a good strategy. Yeah, since that guy was still low. Nope. Oh. That was way more than I needed. Alright. Yeah, I made sure that the enemies give you lots of items. And of course, if you were able to get a lot of items beforehand, you have a lot of items too. So this was kind of fun where I wanted you to kind of have to go through an area twice. A little loop-de-loop around. And, ooh, foreshadowing. This is actually like, so this area of the map is like, these tiles are transparent, and then there's just like a parallax image going in the background. If you're curious, yeah, I do actually like measure out the distance between the different maps to try to make sure it's coherent. It's not always perfect, like it might be like a tile off, you know. But the distance you travel in each map should be more or less consistent. Originally, see this this scroll right here, originally was actually right here, but the main problem was that players would run past it a lot because they didn't want to, because they wanted to avoid that guy. And so I created a separate little room. Minecraft Stronghold's looking different. So I created a separate room here just for collecting the scroll. So, and of course you can read the scroll. This particular concept of having like items that you can pick up and read in the game universe was heavily inspired by Skyrim. Because honestly, that's to me one of the coolest parts of the game, or most unique parts of the game. Is just being able to just pick up and read all sorts of books and stories. It's just really interesting, and it gives you a chance to include more like world building and stuff without having to like shove it down the player's throat, because there's already enough exposition in the game. So, now this is fun. So, I've already talked a little bit about how you notice, like, I haven't once told the player how these pillars work. I've shown the player how it works, which is fire. There is not a fire that can be lit that cannot also be put out. So I'm teaching the player they can toggle them. They can toggle these on and off, and I'm showing the player that the pillars of a particular room are linked, so that they can very clearly see. You have to, like, if you come over here, you light it, you come up here, and you can see it's still down there. Now it's off. And so I'm showing the player how it works, rather than just telling them. So. And now I'm intimidating them. Go over here. Look close at that guy. For a quick second dabs. Alright. Man, imagine if, like, depending on the characters you have on your party when you read the scroll, if they are there and can learn the magic on said scroll, they will learn it. But if they aren't in the party, they just won't be able to, if the scrolls were like a one-use item, because there's no scroll anymore. Yeah, the scrolls aren't. Each character has, like, their own set of abilities, and if you find the scroll, then they will learn that ability. There's a scroll you can find when Verity is on her own, and basically, when you find that scroll, Emma just learns the skill once she's back in the party. Technically, she's in the party in the game's code. Emma is in the party for like half a second, and then put back, and then taken back out. So, like, it adds Emma to the party, learns the skill, waits one frame, and then removes Emma from the party. That's technically how it's coded. But the idea, I guess, is really just that you save the scroll for later, and give it to Emma. You also save skulls for later too, and give them to Emma. And she's like, "What? Why are you handing me skulls? I don't want skulls. What is wrong with you?" This is the first time fighting a golem, so. I feel like, if I remember correctly, basically these guys are weak to physical attacks and really strong against magic. But I could be wrong. At any rate, I know the boss is, for sure. We'll have to look at this guy. Okay. We're gonna want to... Oh, right, I can raise that magic attack of one ally. I forgot. We're gonna use... I'm gonna use a small burger on Kenny. Ooh. He's weak. So do you have any ideas for items that when used just does damage to the enemy? No, not really. I feel like it's more interesting if items like affect the gameplay rather than just doing damage. I might do something like that. Probably not, though. I don't know. We'll see. Giggity. Hello, Remanov. Welcome to the stream. Let's see. If I had guarded more, I probably could have gotten AP up to max. But I didn't. This cutscene took me so long to make. Mostly because I was struggling a lot with depression right at that particular time. So like I was just super slow. I just kept opening up this screen for like this cutscene here and looking at it and then closing it again like day after day. So that was fun. I doubt this statue is the only one that moves. Oh. Yeah, let's just keep moving. Sort of a little reminder of the, that you can go down those slopes, right? Just kind of reminding the player that that thing exists. The air feels a little too quiet. So a little reminder, right? I'm just keeping certain things fresh in the player's memory. A friend of mine made a post saying when the game says hold shift to run, you know it's about to get bad. And then I was like, you know what? I need to say hold shift to run at some point. Or maybe it's a labyrinth with no exit. A maze with no prize. Just all was recovered. No text. Oh yes, the classic hold shift to run. Now the only thing that remains is maintain silence to not be spotted and hold control to crouch. Wish I could do that. I don't think I can though. These statues were really fun to make. I'm really happy with how they turned out. Alright, so I actually did put a lot of thought into this little bit right here. So when you come up here, you know, it's like, I wasn't sure if players would look or if they would interact with this. So, after some playtesting, I saw that most players interacted with it, so that would mean that this side would be the one that is open, and then they would explore. And I also, you notice how this tile it's a little more open this way than it is this way, which is also kind of encouraging the player to go this way first. And the whole idea of that is that I want the player to take the easier puzzle first. And now you see over here, these are being used again, which is why I introduced the player to it earlier in a non-puzzle environment. So, oh no, you can't get out, but oh, you can. There you go. Right? So you see how I, and I'm really quite happy with the design of these environments. But, except for the fact that these things are placed in a place that doesn't make any sense. I might change that, I don't know. But, the slide from the Haven is reintroduced here, right? As, part of the mechanic. Alright, so I'm gonna actually... And these golems are actually a little bit weaker than the one you fought the first time. At least I think so. There's a part where you fight two golems, and I know that they are definitely weaker. Oh, he's already low. There's no reason to guard all the way up to, There's no reason to guard. Okay. There's no reason to guard the angel points up for this guy. Come on. There you go. Yay. Now we get some dust. And I need to change the graphic here so it looks less ugly. Because it looks really dumb. But that's okay. I come here and come here, and as you can see, this is a little more complicated, which is why I want you to go on the right first, which is why I went through all that trouble of kind of figuring out how to make it so most players will probably go to the right first. Right. So the rooms where you fight the golems here are actually in the same map. Oh, you could actually see part of another map for a moment there. You weren't supposed to see that. But it's actually, as you can see, like the two rooms where you fight the golems in here, and then also the room with the doorway, is actually all on the same map. And that's how I was able to do, like, where you could see the other map, right? Or at least that made it a lot easier. You did the same map thingy just to make the cutscene more easy to do. Yeah, well, I mean, that is game design in a nutshell, right? Oh man, I didn't heal up. Okay, that's gonna make it hard. Yeah. Really, it would be really, like, you would have to, like, change the map and then change the map back and whatnot. Less space on the hard disk. Let's see. It's gonna be a little bit tricky. Actually, I'm probably gonna use a item rather than using up the magic. Or actually, there's no reason to. I might as well heal. Okay, I'm gonna need a small MP potion. I have plenty. Kenny's just getting wailed on. Let's see. Meanwhile, Verity's just chilling. I should have healed up before doing the other puzzle. Alright, so we're just gonna... Okay, shoot. We're just gonna do Fireball for a second. And then we are going to Inspire Berry, and then we're gonna use a little item on Emma real quick. Alright, let's see. Now we're going to do double damage. We're going to have Kenny heal himself. She's going to go on him. So we're gonna do, let's see. Fireball on that. So we should be able to do a lot of damage in one go. Oh yeah. There we go. And that's that. That was a little tough, but we got it. And there's the... I thought I updated those graphics, but I guess not. Maybe I did on my version, but just not on the released version. Because for this, I downloaded the game again from the website. From, you know, the page, from the game page. So I downloaded it straight from the game page, so I'm playing the exact version that you would be playing if you downloaded it. I added this little room in here just to remind the player to save. Give a little bit more of a transition. So this sound is actually a lion's roar. There's actually a video on my YouTube channel showing kind of how I made it. Yo, what's up, Ian? Welcome. Say, have you gotten a chance to play it for yourself yet? Or are you gonna get spoiled? Been a while since I've been in one of your firesides. Also, nope. Well, welcome to getting spoiled. You shall not pass! I mean, we are technically still in Referenceville City, so you shouldn't be surprised. I did a lot. I made a lot of different versions of that sort of damage reflect animation before I finally felt kind of happy with it. So I wanted to have, like, special skills, right, that also do, like, physical damage. So rather than throwing them at you all at once, I thought it would be fun to have a character where you needed to use the physical damage skills. Alright. So, magic damage isn't going to have any effect on him. So I think Double Strike tends to... I think I usually use Double Strike. The main difference is that Double Strike will do 2 hits, whereas physical Power Strike and Double Strike do about the same amount of damage, but one of them is a double hit and the other is a 1 hit. So the main difference is with damage threshold, right? If you know anything about sort of RPG combat. You can use either of them and they both will usually do decently well. But if a character has a really high damage threshold, you're going to want to make sure to use Power Strike. But he doesn't have a super strong one. Invigorate. The audio's loud. I have some trouble hearing you. Oh no, is it? Because, like, the volume is kind of low. Last stream it seemed fine. Maybe it's just kind of. Hopefully, it's just loud on the stream. I think you could turn the volume down a little bit on the stream. I'm pretty sure. Or maybe I'm just kind of talking a little quiet. I hope you can hear me okay in the video, because, well, I am recording, right? Oh, thank God. Okay. I think you can alter the volume in the stream. Yeah, you can alter it on, I know you can alter it on your end. I don't know what I can do on my end. Alright. It could also just be this particular song. See, inspire, invigorate. I can probably use. I might as well use invigorate. Or do I want to? I might want to save my MP. Or maybe not. Yeah, I might as well, because she doesn't really have anything to do. That did about 68 damage. If I do like a power strike, let's see how much damage that does. Oh, that did like 75 that time. The more you know. About changing the stream volume. Let's see if it consistently does about that much. Because power strike might be the better option. Okay, I'm out of MP. Let's maybe use like reminds me of Persona a bit. That's high praise from you, considering how much you love Persona. I just discovered you can see the video starts right-clicking the video player on the browser. I have no idea what that means. I think I could just spam attack. He's low enough. This was fun to make. This particular thing, as is true with a few things in this game, was inspired by Mario and Luigi sort of style. With like the beams of light and then the heavily inspired by Mario and Luigi. Thanks. In response to that's hilarious, thanks. Alright. Here we go. And this right here, this is the graphic that's supposed to be, I think, for all the other golems when they die. For some reason it's not there. Again, like, I used a lion's roar for a lot of the sound effects for that particular character. I forget the exact source of the audio. But it was somewhere on YouTube I found it. Ooh, the floor is creaking. Immediately refuses to watch her step. Kaboom, dead. Yeah, you really shouldn't have done that, Verity. Could have broken a leg, but nah, the floor was soft enough to break the fall. Yep. She's fine. Now, this is where the fun begins. The key is knowing when to move forward. Oh, you can move. Right, so it's like this part where you die a couple of times, as they like to say. So obviously, if you just stand here when it's charging up, it's not gonna. But basically, the whole idea, right? That's the idea for the mechanic. Stuff down here as well. Often when playtesting it though, like, I tried to avoid collecting all of the loot in the game to make sure it was still beatable easily enough without collecting all of the loot. Remember to run. Alright, because back here, it's actually possible. It is possible to beat it without running, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you can. There we go. Yep. Now at the moment, actually, there is a little bit of a problem. If I save it real quick. You can get stuck. If you stand in the laser when it activates, you'll then be in a tile that is solid, right? And then you could move out, or you can move into another tile that's solid. So basically, stand here. Now I'm in a solid tile. I can get out okay, but if I go out in the wrong direction, then I get stuck in the world there. I cannot tell you how many times I tried to figure out a way to prevent that, but I couldn't find one before release. By the final release, though, that should be fixed. Unfortunately, at this time, I don't know how. I don't know, maybe you could do a shock knock back that sends you back to the previous position with invisible tiles in the previous direction. Yeah, but the main problem... I tried some stuff like that. But, like, the way the collision system works is a little funny. We're, like, detecting what tile the player is on is a bit funny with the plugin that allows the pixel movement, right? Because instead of just moving one tile at a time, you can move a little bits at a time and stuff, and you have smooth pixel movement. It's really nice, but it changes the XY coordinate system for the player a little bit, and so it doesn't work quite the way RPG Maker expects it to. So it's kind of technical and complicated, and frankly, I haven't looked at it in a while, and I don't even like remember it super well, and I didn't even completely understand it, which is part of the reason why I wasn't able to fix the bug. But that's a little bit of that, and this is one of the scrolls. Yeah, so Emma will be able to use the skill as soon as she rejoins the party. And at the moment, if you oh, you actually don't get the scroll item. Okay, well that makes it easy. But at the moment, the item doesn't actually have, like, you can't read it like the other one. So that's activating, you can go through here. Nice music, thank you. We are starting to get in a little bit more spoilery territory, so Ian, if you do plan to play the game for yourself, you might want to think about saying adios for now. But this will, of course, be uploaded to YouTube, so you can always watch it later. But it's your call. Just move it slow. Alright. Bye. The entity I studied maintains variables to control other entities like a puppet, guiding their actions and emotions. I'm not turning, she's turning on her own. Maybe I don't care about spoilers. That's fine. She's getting slower. She's hesitant. Like you can try to tell her to move faster, but she's not wanting to move very fast. Hands off keyboard. Silence. So part of that whole sequence was to make it as quiet and also feel as natural as possible. Throughout the whole area, like, Verity is getting slower and slower and just really resisting moving, right? And of course all that text is kind of meant to indicate that, you know, the entity guiding Verity, or the entity that he refers to, of course, is the angel. And finally, it's clearly indicated, you are not playing as Verity, you are playing as the angel guiding her. And I apologize for the epilepsy. I don't know how to fix that. Ugh. Whatever. Skittles taste the hospital bills. Not sure what that means, but okay. Been a while since that effect's been used, huh? Well, greetings, the epilepsy. This is the epilepsy room. making this song, making the two different variations of the song, where it's sort of, I forget exactly what the name for it is, but like there's multiple layers to the song, and you can kind of switch between them. How hard is it to work with RPG Maker? I tried it before, but couldn't get much out of it. Also, like the standard of the RPG I want is not really the easiest thing to do in a program like it. Plugins are a pain to deal with, so I didn't touch them. Not really hard, probably. Out of every... Like anything, it takes a lot of time to kind of get used to and get a good handle on. But if you spend a lot of time working with it and getting to know it, you can do a lot. I actually don't use a lot of plugins in most of my games. Like, I can find out, like... let me see. I think possibly right in here it might say the plugins. Yeah, it does. So there... I know it looks like a lot of plugins. Not all of these get used. But a lot of these are pretty simple. Like, shaking text allows me to shake text. And some stuff like that. Battle background scroll isn't that hard. Camera Core is a great plugin. So... And then a lot of these plugins are just visual effects. As far as actual, like, gameplay, there's not really a lot. Ayavra text sound. Or maybe it's Labra, I'm not sure, because sometimes it's an I and sometimes it's an L. But, that's one I use in everything. Not all of these are actually used. I could probably make a video sort of talking about the plugins I use in most of my games. And sort of how I use them and what I, do with them and what I would recommend for most RPG Maker projects. But there's a lot you can do with just eventing, and the vast majority of my games are just that. I mean, even just the tools of conditional branches and variables is really effective. Like, you know, the Hindsight games, and Hindsight 3 especially, is probably my favorite thing not favorite thing I've made, but the most complicated thing I've made with basically vanilla RPG Maker. Hindsight 3 isn't out yet. It hasn't even really been announced, but I have made like the main core gameplay of it. And I'm really pretty proud of it, of what I managed to achieve with just a bunch of show picture commands and conditional branches and parallel process events. So, yeah, I mean, like, would I recommend getting into RPG Maker? That depends on what you want with it and sort of how experienced you are with programming and whatnot. It's working really well for me and for most of what I want to do, but at some point I do plan to move on to other engines. Not really at the moment, though. But, you know, there's definitely a lot you can do with it, but there are a lot of things that are a lot trickier to do with it, so. But most of the plugins I use aren't super complicated, so, you know. But yeah, if you do really want to get into RPG Maker, there are a few plugins, just basic plugins that I would highly recommend, like, Some Random Dude's Camera Core especially, or a comparable plugin, but that's the one I use personally, and it's a really good one. Back a little bit more to what I was saying earlier, though, is this song, the song in this section here, just kind of two variations of it, which was really fun to make. And it transitions from one to another. And I actually designed it so that it could transition mid-song. It doesn't in-game, but it could. So, like, mid-song just transition to the other version at the same point it is currently in the song. I did do some tests and stuff with that, and some of the test events might still be within the game, just hidden off the side of the map, but I'm not sure. But I know I did design it so it could work that way. It doesn't in-game, though. And again, I don't know how to fix that. Unfortunately. But I'm sure I can find some way at some point. Epilepsy warning. Alright, now we're in the tough fight. I'm pretty sure it doesn't really matter. Not pretty sure, but I'm confident that physical and magic damage do the equal amount to him. So it makes more sense to focus on magic, since Emma can't really do a lot of physical damage, but she can do magic damage. So, actually I should use poison right off the bat. Back. Hey, Ian. This isn't a bad time to come back because it's just the boss fight. Let's see. On the guard. Spire him as well. Well, I haven't used Disable yet. Yo, it's the man himself. It is indeed. He is upon us. This particular song was made in like Halloween of last year, as of current recording time. But basically, when I was first trying to make the battle theme, I ended up making a song that ended up turning into this instead, and it sounded a little too intense and a little too cool for the regular battle theme. So I ended up repurposing it into his theme. And then I also added, like, the voice stuff. The original rendition didn't have the voice stuff, but of course the final one did. This will inspire. There we go. And the voice stuff is just, it's the speech function built into FL Studio, which is also something that Toby Fox used, which is pretty cool. I actually really don't need to. Actually, I'm gonna strike him down with the sword he gave me, or gave Verity, really. There we go. I'm really proud of this design for the building, frankly. I don't know, maybe it doesn't look as cool as I thought it did, I don't know. But, yeah. Now, seal. Kenny promotes communism, real! Kenny is a communist spy! Verity's like, I did it. We did it! So, crazy! Still hands off keyboard, by the way. Alright, now we can. This right here. This is actually, there's actually like Morse code there. With the lines and stuff. Over here on this computer. Looks a lot like Verity's computer. So fun fact, you know, Kenny gets the angel ability, so what even are the gateways, right? Why do they connect to the unseen plane? So basically, kind of the lore is that, you know, when you first enter the game and kind of take control of Verity, right, there's sort of a Terran reality that sort of grows in that spot. And so sort of the idea is that the gateways are sort of like contained cracks in reality from when the previous angels in the past entered. So there's 3 gateways, which means there were 3 angels in the past. So basically, when you seal this gateway, you get the ability that the past angel had. So now that Kenny has total recovery, that was the skill of a previous angel. And you see this design for the angel that also appeared in the gateway for a brief moment is a little bit different than the regular angel, which we know, which was an angel in the past that was, you know, a past hero. Welcome back. Welcome back. Back again, so sorry. I am so proud of the visuals here. It took a lot of time to get it all to work, but I feel pretty good about it. An elevator made out of bricks, interesting. Yeah, just go with it. Hey, who said it was bricks? Maybe it's just brick-colored wallpaper. Yes, brick-colored is a thing. Don't question it. Yeah, because they've been up all night. Not the right thing to say right now, Kenny. So, for this whole scene, it kind of shows all of the characters' kind of weaknesses and struggles, all sort of in one little scene. Just to sort of unpack a little bit of what they all just went through. I like how they both just went inside her. Yeah, they all want to. I don't know if I should say that. Actually, I won't. They'll just converge on one point. It's just easier to program that way. It's kind of hard to explain. You have no idea how important it is. She's tired in more way than one. Kind of echoing them a little bit. Like, let's go. Who's uptight? Look who's talking. And that's the end of what's available to play so far. I'm trying to think of something fun to say. Oh yeah, so basically... Oh yeah, I don't really know what to say. Yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed the video and the stream. Is there yeah. If you haven't yet, and if you could go play the game, that'd be awesome. The reason why this font is called Storytime, in quotes, is because the original font was... Well, the actual font itself is called Zelda DX, and it's not a Zelda font, it's just inspired by Zelda. But I didn't really know how to clarify that. So I just decided not to call it Zelda, just to avoid any confusion. But I did credit the person who used it. And, it's a sort of slanted text used in, like, the story sections and stuff. Try again. So, I think... No, we'd have to... Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have a save file where we die, or where we can die. I don't think. So, see. Want to wait until I can find a way to stream with Mike before playing the game. Alright, well, let me know when you do. We can go back through here. That's where the spooky stuff is. Talking about the angel and Soul's research stuff. She don't want to say that. But try dying sometime, because there might be something interesting that can happen if you do, or will happen for sure. We should find out sometime what happened. Why this is all like caved in and stuff. But if you do get a game over, something will eventually happen that might be interesting. So yeah, I mean that's basically it. That's kind of all I have to share. So hope you enjoyed the stream and whatnot, and see you all next time. And I'll see you all tomorrow. I'll do a lot more sort of Q&A and answer a lot of different questions. And frankly, like, if you have any questions yourself you want to ask, plop them in the Discord server, plop them, make posts at me, use the hashtag, whatever. If you have any other questions. For me, not for the characters. The questions for the characters is already sort of established what those are going to be. But if you have any questions for me, I'm going to answer those, and I'll also answer questions in the chat as well. It'll be mostly about guidance, but we can do some other questions about more general stuff too. So yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Hopefully a little bit earlier tomorrow, but we'll see. Yeah.